All right, welcome back to UFOs Above Us. This is part 3 of the North Texas UFO series. I've got a really unusual one this time, and on one side, it's a great picture. I think, respectfully submitted. This is a super interesting picture, but there's some things about this picture that just bug me. So as we go through this will take a little longer because I want to share a little bit more of my background of why I'm doing this, and I want to share what I don't feel comfortable about this picture. All my other UFO pictures usually are a challenge. Either the object's flying really erratically where it's real hard to photograph, hard to focus. There's things about it that won't let the camera autofocus and I have to manually focus. It's in and out of clouds where I can't get a good picture of it. This one flew right into my field of view, broadside, to make it as easy as possible for me to photograph. And the skeptic in me, I guess, screams out, that didn't seem right. That's not normal. It was too easy. Uh, but the picture is what it is. This is a something in the sky over North Texas, and when we zoom in on it, I think you're going to see some interesting characteristics. Look at that series of red dots on that white background. Now it does leave a trail, which one of my posters had a good comment earlier and said, why would a UFO leave a trail? And exactly, I don't know. But here's what we saw. Here's what I saw, and here's what you're seeing. So look at this object. We'll look at the interesting things about it and the one thing about it that I don't like or that doesn't make sense to me. So let's take a closer look together and see what we can figure out. All right, so this is the thing I don't like. And I'm just going to, as we go through this, I will look at that. But there's a little triangular shadow at the top of this. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on YouTube or not, but it's there. Trust me. What's it doing there? There's kind of a arc-shaped shadow at the bottom, or a semi-translucent part at the bottom, and I don't know what it's doing there. Then looking at the overall shape of this object, it's kind of got a blunt front, and then this teardrop shape to it, which if you look at advanced propulsion for experimental aircraft, that's where they're going. So those are all interesting, but this I don't like. If you look at this basic shape, I guess I'm not even going to say what I think that is. I'll leave that up to you. But if you look at that basic shape, if you had kids who drew pictures of you when you were young, that might ring a bell with you, except for the very top part of it. So I don't know what that's doing there, but let's just look at this upper portion of it. And that doesn't look like anything your kids drew, I bet. So what do you think that is? I'll leave that up to you. All right, so looking at this object, it certainly has all the traditional. If you were going to try to draw a picture of a UFO, isn't this kind of something that you would theorize it would look like? Now I'm going to kind of boost the color and everything to try to get us a better look at it. And I'm not a desktop publishing guy. This is not I'm a photographer. So that's my area of expertise. This isn't. So I'm doing my best, but I know it's not great. But hopefully you can see some of these features I said. And certainly everybody can see the shape of the object, which, doesn't it scream out UFO to you? I mean, this is kind of what everybody's looking for. And you would think I'd be all excited about this picture and bragging about how great it is, but there's just that one thing about it that bothers me, and it doesn't make sense to me. And the scientist in me says, why would that be there? And that's that thing right there. It just doesn't make sense with everything else I'm seeing here. So I don't understand why that's there. And if you have thoughts on that, please share them in the comments. I'm certainly interested in hearing what other Skywatchers have to say. I'm not going to follow how many subscribers I have anymore. I quit caring about that. I'm going to leave that in others' hands, and it's not up to me anymore. So what I care about is my content. I'm going to try to make it as good as I can. I'm going to spend as much time as I can looking for the truth. My father, I will share a little bit more about him. He was a metallurgic engineer, worked for a major defense contractor in the aerospace industry designing jets, and his specialty was failure analysis. And so he encouraged me, before he died of Alzheimer's, I was asking him a lot about UFOs, and he never would say anything, even though I suspect he knew a lot. But he did tell me, he said, son, the answers you're looking for, if you'll keep watching the skies, the answers are up there. And so that clue that he left me is what kind of drove me to spend the last 2 or 3 years pretty aggressively investigating this. and I think I'm having some good results. I hope you feel like I am. But I want to encourage everyone who's a fellow skywatcher out there. We all have different areas of expertise that we can contribute, but as a group, we can help solve this question of what's going on in the skies above us. You know, some of us, our expertise is the moon. Some of us, our expertise is the sun. Some of us, our expertise is anomalies in the clouds. But we can all learn from each other. So I encourage everybody to do that. If you know other sky watchers out there, let's get them to all share their content and to look at what we produce. And together we will finally get to the bottom of what all has been going on. That last video I posted about the moon, the update to that, I encourage you to watch that and give that some thought. And I also want to encourage you to keep watching the skies.